Hey guys, Senior Thesis Bart back with The Flash episode 3, and I can't remember the title name. Bob's like, oh, Family of Rogues. Family of Rogues. Got it. So, this episode was actually one of probably my favorite episodes of The Flash, not only this season, because we've only had 3, but of the whole series so far. Now, I found it a really fun, really kind of action packed episode. It was good when it slowed down and the emotional beats hit really well, so I loved this episode. Uh, the first, I think what got me was how it started. It just started with Barry working on some science stuff, and then it cuts to Iris, and she's being pursued in the building. She's like, "I need your help," and he's like, "Jump out the window," and she does, and he catches him, takes down the bad guys, and that's it. And then she's like, "I can't wait to write a report," and then he laughs and speeds off, and I'm like, "Yeah, that's the Flash." So I really enjoyed that. This episode focused a lot on the Snarts. So Captain Cold, his sister Golden Glider, and their father, I'm probably going to call him Papa Snart, or Papa Cold, or Colonel Cold is the one I heard from him. So it focused a lot on the Snarts and the Wes, and kind of a father-daughter parallel or kind of dynamic between the families. Because in the Snarts, Papa Cold was actually an abusive dad to Lisa because he considered her a failure, and that plays into the episode later. While on the West Side, his main plot was, oh my gosh, this wife who I've said was dead for the past 20 years, who turned out to be a drug addict and just a overall negligent mom, who he put in rehab, and then she escaped, and then he just told Iris that she was dead, is alive, and he's like, I don't want you back in our daughter's life. You failed the first time, you went off, you wouldn't do anything, and so why should you be back now? And so I'm going to do this subplot quick because it's the easiest to do. uh, Joe talks to Barry about it, and then Barry's like, "You gotta just tell the truth, man. She'll understand." And he does, and she does. Iris understands it. She's like, "I understand what you were doing. I understand it came from a place of love. Thank you." And I think they do talk at the end, so hopefully we'll actually see some interaction between Mama West and Iris. Really loved Iris this episode. She only did 2 things, but it was great. So that's a step up for her. Now, for the rest of the episode, Lisa actually, Lisa enlists Cisco to get the Flash's help so they can rescue her brother. But it turns out her brother is not kidnapped, but working with their dad. But the problem is, they hate their dad. Their dad's an abusive, I wouldn't say alcoholic, but an abusive, just kind of slimeball jerk. And so she can't believe they're working with him, so there has to be a problem. So Barry talks to Captain Cold, like at one of the diners that he usually hangs out with, and then Captain Cold gets up and leaves, and Barry has to pay the bill. At their hideout, and then another time where Barry actually ends up sneaking in on the heist they were working on because uh, Papa Cold killed the tech guy, so they needed a new tech guy. So Barry kind of acts like that, and they get in, and then things go down. But regardless, it was nice to see their frenemy relationship, or friendly enemies, where it's like, we don't hate each other, we grudgingly respect each other, but are on opposite sides of the law, and we both follow a code, kind of meet up and play off each other, and you get to see bits and pieces of good humanity within Captain Cold, and that's going to play a big part in Legends of Tomorrow coming in the over the winter break, so that'll be cool to see. uh what else? There are some nice tender moments between Golden Glider and Cisco. So that just kind of gets that dating Catwoman relationship. And you get to see a little softer side to him. And then in the end, they kind of flip it over its head. And it's like, were you really meaning all of what you've said and done this past time? And she just like kisses Cisco, and Cisco kisses her back. And then she leaves on the motorcycle. And you're like, I don't even know, but it's funny. So that dynamic is interesting. I'm not the biggest fan of it, but I don't hate it. So I can dig it for some arrow puns, right there. Another 2 relationships were Caitlin, who's getting over Ronnie remarkably fast, but still in a good amount of. It's been 6 months, so it's understandable, but it's still, you want to keep an eye out for her. And her and Jay are kind of moving along, so that was fun. And then Patty and Barry, every scene they're in, they're adorable. It's so cute and funny. I'm like, this is like Felicity season 1 and 2 again, except even now I won't say even better. I can't say just as good, but just like a tiny notch below Felicity did. So she is perfect for Barry, and it's like I don't even care about Iris anymore. Just get with Patty. It's awesome. So it'll be interesting to see because I have a sinking suspicion she actually knows who Barry is the Flash, but cares more about him as Barry than the other way around, where Iris cared about the Flash or was more infatuated with the Flash than she was Barry, at first at least. So it's cool. It's moving all along in the right places. You do get a forget it. The reporter, I can't remember her name right now, but the reporter he dated last season, she appears. I couldn't tell if it was a new actress or not. And by he, I mean Barry. The reporter Barry dated Linda Park. Linda Park. She makes an appearance, and so that was cool to see. And there was, they do pick up at the beginning of the episode. You figure out that Dr. Stein is just having some problems. And he comes back at the end of the episode and goes totally Nova Firestormy, and it turns blue, and then he's out again. So it's like we ended the last episode with him having heart problems. We ended this episode with him having firestorm problems. Come on, guys, twice in a row. But it worked because the next episode is dedicated to the new Firestorm. So I'm excited. I'm excited. Overall, it was just kind of a heist family-oriented episode. Not a lot of plot development on Zoom himself. However, they built something called a speed cannon, and that was mostly during Jay and Caitlin's bonding time, that can tap into the warp holes from Earth 2 to Earth 1. And in the last minute of the episode, someone steps through, and you're like, this is going to blow up later, and it's going to be awesome. So overall, I give this episode an 8.9 to a 9 out of 10. Loved it. Great. There are episodes better, but this is just personally going to be one of my favorites. But you should check it out if you haven't, because if you haven't, then I just totally spoiled it for you. But regardless, like, comment, subscribe, do all the socials, and Senior Thesis Bart, signing off.